Welcome. Just doing some live shipping this morning. Trying to get out the weekend orders. I am also on live on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm trying to play around with those settings a little bit. So my apologies if you're watching on that. It's been a little choppy in the past, and I'm trying to fix that. First thing we have here is this Department 56 Christmas tree. This thing sold, if I can find it, something I probably wouldn't pick up again. I think I bought this in a bundle. This sold for $4.88 before shipping, so it ended up being $14.53. Again, something I probably wouldn't pick up in the future. A little different when you can get it in a bundle deal, though. So I just put a big layer of bubble wrap on there, packing paper in the bottom, and then we're going to fill this with the rest with packing paper. Again, I don't like any of my stuff to move around in the box. And while we are shipping today, please feel free to ask questions, chat with me. Makes these lives go a little more smoothly if I can communicate, have a little bit of a topic to talk about. Okay, first item down, not moving in that box, which is what I like to see. Let me pull this up again. Again, we're trying to do some streaming on Facebook as well as YouTube, and it's been a little choppy on there, so hopefully it looks all okay. I'm trying to work out those kinks. Welcome if you guys are just joining me, though. I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning while I do a little bit of this shipping. And I forgot my pen, so let me go grab one. Again, that was the first thing we sold, which was the Department 56 tree. So I'm just going to write that on the box, so when I go to weigh this and everything, we know what we have here. Okay, let's move on. We'll go with this item. This is a method, has an E on the end, method sweater. Pull this up here. This one sold for $27.45. That's after shipping. So total was $27.45. My local Goodwill charges $4.99. So $4.99 is what we charge at my local Goodwills for these things. So nice little profit here. This time of year, the sweaters are moving pretty well. Again, get this nice. Make sure I get all the cat hair. Even though I keep these in sealed tubs, when you have cats, cat hair is just something you got to deal with. So I just take a piece of my my packing tape and I go over it with that just to get any excess hair that I can see. There's not a bunch on it, but like I said, whenever you have cats, cat hair is going to get on it no matter what. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit. And this should fit in, where did I put my bag? I know I grabbed one. Must have fallen. Just bring the whole stack over here just in case I need some. Welcome if you guys are just joining in with me. I really hate this layout. There we go. That way I can see messages if any comments or anything come in. So we're just going to get this in a poly bag here. Pull this up over here. Dustin, hey, I'm DH Games on Whatnot. Love watching your videos. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Our Whatnot has slowed down quite a bit because we run our Whatnots out of our storage unit for the most part. And it has been freezing. And we just don't want to be out in the cold. And we've been dealing with a huge purchase from a hoarder house that we've been dealing with. So we will get back on those Whatnots, though. So thank you so much for joining in, Dustin. Really appreciate you. And you guys, if you're not following me on Whatnot, go ahead and follow me. We sell all kinds of stuff on there. Sometimes we do clothing. Sometimes we do video games, comics. We have a wide variety of stuff we sell on there. Thank you guys for liking this stream and joining in with me today. And again, please feel to comment, leave questions down there, and I will do my best to answer all of them. And this was the Method sweater. Okay, moving right along. This one's already boxed up. I grabbed some boxes to make this go a little more smoothly. This one was from my store, I do believe. Yes. So these shoes sold for $33.69. We have a pair of Vans Off the Wall. These are Desert Aloha style. I have no idea what I paid for these. I've had these for quite a while. But again, they sold for $33.69. That's after shipping. And I had a pretty decent sized box that they fit in. So we're just going to reuse. This was an Amazon box where I used to work. I still have people that save boxes for me there. And then my wife also works there, so she brings them home for me. So I have an endless supply of like Amazon boxes, especially this time of year when everybody's getting their Christmas presents delivered. They bring all those boxes to me. Again, the packing paper isn't really to protect this. I just don't like stuff moving around in the box. I think it doesn't look as professional if you get a box that's just in there loosely. I actually hate it when you order like an Amazon package and they put it in a gigantic box with like one bubble, like big bubble in there. And it's just flying around inside the box. I think that's awful. So fold that up. If you've been watching me live, I always do the shake test. Seemed to be good. Nothing moving around in there. Let me get this pulled up again. Again, I am live on Facebook and I'm live on YouTube this time. Normally, I've just been doing TikTok, but I'm trying to get this worked out so it doesn't look as bad. So, yes, Dustin said, yes, everyone follow. Great deals and just a great time. Thank you so much, Dustin. Dustin, how does it look? You're watching on Facebook. Does it look okay? My internet is not always the greatest, and it gets a little choppy on that. For some reason, it doesn't seem to get choppy on TikTok when I use my phone. But for some reason, Facebook and YouTube gives me a little bit of issues. I'm going to be calling my internet provider and hopefully seeing what it costs to get my upload speed a little higher. I actually live out in a rural area. And for the longest time, the only way you could have internet out here was to basically have a satellite dish on your house that points to a cell tower, and then that would give you Wi-Fi. Indiana has passed these, they're not bills, I guess they're bills. I don't know exactly what you call it, but they're trying to provide internet to everybody in rural areas. So we actually just got fiber this year. Get Google Homes and boost up your internet. Google Homes, huh? Google Fiber is in your area. If Google Fiber is in your area, it's worth it. There is, like I was just saying, there is literally one internet provider that provides any type of fiber or anything, or you have to go through like AT&T and point at a cell tower. And we have Spectrum. So Spectrum is what we have out here. What did I pack? These were shoes. Vans shoes. So moving on to the next item. I am also currently, got a light twitching. I'm currently working on trying to get this death pile sorted a little better and adding some new shelves in here. When I moved into this barn, dirt floor, no walls or anything, and I've been slowly building that up. And when I first moved in, I built my own shelves, and I am not a carpenter. So like the table that I do all of my shipping and all my listing is handmade by me. It's not the greatest. So I'm working on actually getting some real shelving in here to clean it up and make it a little easier on me. Okay, next item here. I'm pretty sure this is on mine and Brandon's store. And you'll hear me say Brandon sometimes. Brandon is my business partner. So if you ever watch any of my videos and you see another guy with a beard, that's Brandon. He's my business partner. He is Indy Flip. That's INDY, like for Indianapolis, FLIP. And he's mainly on Instagram, but give him a follow. Duncan, what do you ship? What do you mean, what do I ship? I'm shipping everything today. So if you hang out, you'll see what I'm shipping, unless you meant something different by that question. I'm not 100% sure what you meant. We sold 2 of these. These are Cincinnati Bengals vintage socks. We paid 50 cents a piece for these, and the pair after shipping was $21.81. Duncan, not Dustin, Bad Eyes. Duncan, we sell video games. I sell clothing, toys. I sell perfume. We've got a Kermit the Frog going out later, blank cassette tapes. If you watch any of my reels, you'll see what I pick up. I do a lot of garage sale footage and a lot of thrift store stuff. I pick up all kinds of stuff. So these vintage socks, again, sold for $21.81. And I do have a box ready to go. I appreciate everyone that likes this live and shares the stream. That is a huge help. And really, anytime that I post a video or any content creator that you like, when they post a video, the best thing you can do for them is just like and comment on that video. It's great for video engagement, and it helps that video get out to more people. So if you've got, it doesn't necessarily have to be me, but if you have a content creator that you enjoy their videos, make sure you comment and like whenever you can. It is a huge help. Okay, let's get these into the box. Again, this packing paper isn't really to protect the item. I just don't like this stuff moving around in the box. And if you can see it back there, I buy a giant roll of it, and it lasts me normally like 3 months. So it does a pretty good job. And I keep forgetting to pull this tab up to make sure I'm not missing anything. Audio gone. Oh, that's a bummer. Sorry, Scott. Not that you can hear me. I don't know what's going on with the audio over there. I don't really know how to fix that. Like I said, I've been using this program called Restream to try to go onto Facebook and YouTube, and it's just a lot of problems. So I don't know if I just need to end up just doing TikTok only, but I don't have as much luck with it. And I can't remember. These were socks. How is that stream on TikTok looking and sounding? Am I doing okay on there? Just want to make sure I haven't lost anybody. I guess if you couldn't hear me, you wouldn't be knowing what I'm saying right now, unless you can read lips. But my apologies, anybody that's watching on Facebook. Not that you can hear me, apparently, but I guess the audio went out over there. Hello, Evan. Welcome. Okay, next item. Got to remember if this was mine or mine and Brandon's. I have 2 separate stores. I have a personal store, and then I have a business store that I share with Brandon, my business partner. And I think this one was on mine. It is. Okay, so this is the brand is Bracken. It is a size large. It's a chunky cable knit sweater. This sweater, after taxes and shipping, was $68.87. I paid $4.99. So $4.99 for this sweater. And I believe it's wool, so pure wool. So these definitely pick up cat hair a little worse, but I already went through and made sure that one was as best as I could get it. I don't think I'm going to have to, nope, not going to have to add anything. Yep, $68. Right now, the sweaters are moving like crazy. Me and Brandon picked a hoarder house, and I'll actually show you one we sold on there. But we got this one brand that QVC sold. We got a ton of it from this one house. So you would have passed. So anytime that you see wool, pure wool sweaters, just check them out. Like, look them up. A lot of times, just them being wool will help them sell better. So I have a rule that if it's pure wool and it's a brand I don't know, I go ahead and look it up. Same with cashmere. If you ever find anything cashmere, it's worth your time to look it up. Now, the problem with cashmere, it's a very delicate fabric and it's very easy to get holes in. So if you find cashmere stuff, you want to just make sure that you're checking it for holes. But cashmere and wool is just something that I will always look up if I don't know the brand especially. This was a Bracken sweatshirt or sweater. Okay, let's go This is actually something that I just posted a reel. I think this weekend is when I did it. These are blank cassettes. These came from a garage sale where I asked how much they wanted for their blank cassettes. I will pick these up almost always if I can get them very cheap and they're vintage. So these are from the 80s or 90s. When I originally asked, she didn't even know what I was talking about. But these, she wanted $1 a piece as I break one of them. She wanted $1 a piece, and I said I was more in the market for $0.25. I didn't look any of them up. This lot, again, I think I got about 20 cassettes, and I paid $5 total. These cassettes, after shipping and fees, was $25.38. So again, I got 20, and one of the cassettes, I had 2 of them. It's actually a very rare cassette, and I listed them for like $90 a piece. So $90 for one. I haven't had any takers. It's a lot. You got to find that right person that's willing to spend $90 on a cassette. But eventually it will sell. And then basically I lower my prices every so often. And right now I think I'm doing every month it drops 5%. So once that hits that right price point that somebody wants it, they'll pick them up. But again, I paid $5 for all of the cassettes, and I've almost like 4 times my money on just this one lot. So let's get this in a box. And a weird thing that a lot of people don't know is that you are not actually supposed to ship this stuff media mail. For some reason, blank media is not supposed to be media mail. I try to adhere to the post office rules as much as possible, so that will go in just the ground advantage. But a lot of people ship that stuff media mail, and you can tell because there's people that'll sell like vintage, or not even vintage, just new VHS tapes that are blank, and they'll sell them, and you can just tell the shipping's so low. I missed a comment. Let me go back here. Do you have all your inventory in the room you're in right now? So yes and no. All of my personal inventory is in this room. This is a pole barn that used to house horses when I moved into it. Basically on this side, almost all of that is my listed inventory. I have 2 shelves full of listed. On the left and on the floor and behind me is all death pile stuff. But I also have a business partner that we have 2 storage units full of our stuff together. And I have a little bit of our stuff mixed in this barn just because I bring it home to list it, and then I end up keeping it here until it sells. But I have 2 storage units and this barn full of inventory. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else. So let's get some bubble wrap on these. Pull this up. Not that it seems I haven't had any more comments on that. I've got a few watchers on Facebook or YouTube. Is that audio still out? I guess if you can hear me, at least answer. But if you're not following me and you did join in to check out what I'm doing today, please give me a follow. I try to post reels, at least one every day. That's what I try to do. I'm actually still editing footage from garage sale season, which was like 2 months ago. And I've got like something like 300 videos saved. Now those aren't all going to make it into a video, but they're video clips that I have saved. Okay, let's get some paper in here. Thank you for liking that video, Carol. I appreciate it. It's a huge help. Any other questions today? Anybody curious about how I operate or things that I like to deal with? My history as a reseller. I'm actually planning on doing a video that talks about my history as a reseller and how I got started and everything. And eventually I would like to do interviews with other resellers because there's a couple resellers that I really like that have really good, interesting backgrounds on how they became a reseller. So how long have I been reselling? I have been actually reselling probably since, not like full-time, not even part-time, but around 2006 when I was a senior in high school. I started selling off doubles, or at least trading in doubles from my video game collection to get more video games. So that was kind of the start. I've been collecting video games since about 2003, 2004-ish. And that led to me becoming a reseller, selling off all those doubles. But I went full time probably about 2.5, 3 years ago now. So I'm a full-time reseller. Okay, let's see. Moving on, what do I want to grab? Okay, this came from the Hoarder House that I've mentioned a few times. This is Chloe perfume. Chloe perfume. And like I said, this Hoarder House was owned by a woman that her dad had passed away, and apparently her mom or stepmom had won the Publisher Clearinghouse, which is kind of like the lottery. And this woman just decided to spend all of her money on QVC. So they had like QVC brand new boxes of stuff all over this house. There was also boxes of jewelry, but somebody had raided that already and pretty much took out all the jewelry. We did find some silver, but we're in this house for about $1,500 total. And we actually sold a set of silverware and a set of coins for $1,800. So that one sale already put us into the profit. And we've had some crazy sales from this house. But this perfume, if I can find it on here, after fees and shipping and everything, sold for $116. So $116. And if you can see, it was initially $31 when it came out. So $31, and we sold it for $116. And perfume is easier to ship now more than ever before, because as soon as they implemented parcel or USPS Ground Advantage, you could start shipping perfume. You used to be only able to ship perfume ground, and before USPS Ground Advantage, that means you had to ship it parcel, and it was extremely expensive to ship perfume. So, you know, this little box would have cost like $12 to ship or something like that. And now that the USPS Ground Advantage is there, those all go ground, so you can ship this very cheaply. But you're not allowed to ship anything with alcohol through the air. And I'm pretty sure I missed a comment here, so let me go back. And you sell on eBay mostly, correct. I do sell mostly on eBay, but I also sell on Mercari, Poshmark, Depop, and I have a flea market booth as well. But eBay is by far my best platform. Actually, it's probably eBay in the flea market. Me and Brandon's flea market booth does really well. Sorry, let me get this in here, and I missed a few questions. So how has your success been with the flea market booth? My personal flea market booth is not great, but I don't put a lot of time into it. So I normally have about $300 to $400 in sales, which means I'm profiting about $200 after my booth fee, but I don't put a lot of time into it. So I'm normally putting stuff in there that really isn't worth it to sell on eBay for myself. Now, mine and Brandon's booth does way better than that. I don't want to say the exact number that we sell on there, but it's very good. So we do very well on there. And I mentioned it earlier, but I also sell on Whatnot as well. Do you have a business eBay account? I just have the store. I don't think it's considered a business account. I think I do the next size up from like the free one. So whatever that is, like a basic store or a small, whatever that one is called. Yeah, I would look into the flea market booth. Not only do we sell pretty well in there, we put signs up that we buy, and that's led to some pretty good purchases for us as well. So this was Chloe perfume. Okay. Is the one with your business partner better because you put more time into it? And then yes. So we just put more time into that one. Me and Brandon have done some really huge purchases. Like we bought somewhere around 15,000 Hot Wheels, and we paid like under $1,000. I forget exactly how much it was, but we put those Hot Wheels in that flea market booth, and we just put everything for $1 a piece. So like there's days that we're selling 70 Hot Wheels. And we bought a lot of die cast purchases that we put in there. And then like clothing that, you know, may move for like 10 to 15 bucks for us that maybe not worth it on eBay. We'll put in the flea market booth as well. And the main thing that me and Brandon share together. So we always, if we're together, we purchase items and they become both of ours. But let's say I go garage selling and he wasn't able to go. I keep all that stuff for myself unless it's video games. We just have a deal that if he picks up video games and he's not with me, that's a joint deal. And if I pick up video games and I'm not with him, it's a joint deal. So like if you've ever seen any of my reels, like there was a reel that apparently a lot of people weren't happy with, but it is what it is. There was like some Super Nintendo games where somebody, the guy wanted $30. I countered at 20. And that's because one, I had to drive to his house to pick those up further than the garage sale. And I split all that profit with Brandon. So I always try to get those as the best deal. Really, I try to get any item that I purchase the best deal as possible when I go to garage sales, because I'm accounting for all those garage sales that maybe I didn't hit at all. But me and him share all the video game stuff. Okay, next item is this Kermit. And he was also featured on a reel. If you saw the video where I went into the resale shop where they had free books, I got a complete set of Animorphs for free. I technically ended up paying $20 just because I spoke to the woman, one, to make sure she was okay with me taking as many as I did, because I got a complete set of Animorphs. I got quite a few Magic School Bus, which me and my girls collect. And I got Illustrated Classics. But he was in there as well. I think she charged me $5 for him. And Kermit sold for, where are you at, Kermit? Kermit sold for $29.94. That's $29.94 after shipping and everything. Thank you, Caleb, for liking that live. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody that's just now joining in. But I've told this story before, but if you don't know the story of me and Brandon, basically what it was, you have one of those Kermits. I've sold this Kermit multiple times. I actually sold the Christmas version of him maybe like a month or two ago. But real quick, because I've mentioned Brandon multiple times, I'll tell you the quick story of how me and Brandon became business partners. And it was literally, I got tired of dealing with him as competition. Brandon is very similar to me in that we pick up anything that we think we can make money on. And I was basically running into him at every estate sale, running into him at Goodwill. And then we were racing each other at garage sales. And we were at this festival one time, and we became friends at this point. He was my competition, but like literally it became like we saw each other all the time. So basically at this garage sale one time, we were in a town-wide festival, and we met each other by chance. And then I said, I'm going this way, and he went another way. And then like 5 houses later, we happened to run into each other again. And I was like, just get in my car. And from that point on, we really became business partners. It started off that whenever we were together, we would buy everything as one, and then we would do drafts. So we'd come back to my house or his house, and I'd be like, I'll get first pick, you get the next two. And then we would basically start sorting it, stuff like that. That led to eventually we were listing stuff for both of us on our personal eBays. That became a huge pain in the butt, because if I sold something on eBay, I had to I had to PayPal him money for the profit. We did that for a while, and then eventually we said, let's just start an LLC, and we created our joint eBay, and we did joint flea market. So that's kind of the quick version of how me and Brandon became business partners. Yeah, I see my friends all the time at thrift stores. Yeah, and the thrift stores aren't as bad, because like there's still, like, I have a friend that's still local competition that's kind of annoying when he comes, because he's still my competition. So we're still kind of racing each other. But it's nice that if I see Brandon, I just know, hey, if he comes into the thrift store, we're just going to share that stuff. And sometimes I can't get stuff listed and Brandon does. So it benefits me in the end, or it benefits him if he's sick and I can get some stuff listed or shipped. And when I thrift with friends, we do drafts. Yep, that's what we do. We do the draft. We did do the drafts early on, and then we ended up getting out of that, as I said, just because like it gets a little. Hey Andy, welcome. Thanks for joining. It just gets a little like sketchy if I'm having to send him PayPal money for half the profit, and then I have to account for my taxes, because a lot of people that don't resell full time or even part time, they don't understand that I have to pay taxes on everything that I sell. It's just like income that I would have if I was at a job. Okay, this was Kermit. We sold that Kermit for just under 30 bucks. Moving on. Let's ship the easiest item I have today. And it's this. And it's easy because this was a QVC box. And I'm not going to show you the ornaments, but this is a set of ornaments. But it was already new in the shipper. So I took this out, I took photos of them, and then I put it right back in, and we're going to ship it directly in the box that it was shipped to this seller at. These ornaments, let me pull it up here, hopping back and forth. These ornaments sold for $61.59. That's after shipping. So $61.59. And I literally don't have to add anything to this because it's already got the styrofoam. It's in the box tightly. I just have to retape it up, which makes my job really easy. And one thing we did is when I listed this, I made sure to not like include pictures of this box because I knew it was just going to get taped up and shipped in it. And that's all done. Again, that's the easiest thing I'm shipping today. Welcome if you're just now joining in. I appreciate everybody. If you're not following me on here, please give me a follow. I post reels. I try to do one a day. Sometimes I can do more. I also post extra stuff on my Instagram and my Facebook when I do just pictures. I don't post pictures on TikTok. So if you want to see like pictures of stuff or random thoughts that I have, you may want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Do you have many returns from your sales? I have a decent amount. I don't ship as much electronics as I used to, except video games. I used to have like, I'd ship like a stereo equipment, and no matter how much you test that, somebody gets it, and like a tape player, they get it and it doesn't work for them. And it's one of those things like you give it a few taps and you change out the batteries again, you rotate the batteries, it ends up working. I had so much stuff like that coming back to me that it'd come back and it worked just fine, that I tried to stop shipping electronics like that unless it was pretty valuable, that I'd know it was worth my time. But I try to include measurements on all of my clothing, so that's reduced the amount of returns that I get on that. So, but I do offer free returns on my store, but I don't get a lot of returns because even though it's free, they have to pay that initial shipping cost, so they end up taking a hit on them. And if they open it, if they wear something and get a stain, I charge 50%. So if you bought an item from me for 20 bucks and it was new with tag, you wear it and then you don't like it and you ripped off that tag, you're only getting a $10 refund and you're not getting your initial shipping back. So let's move on to this. This is a stomper. These stompers can be very valuable. This one wasn't great, but I got this at a garage sale for like $3 for $1. So this one stomper, this sold on my personal store. Hate trying to go back and forth here. I should have just stuck to one store, but I didn't. I decided to do both. Okay, so this stomper only sold for $12.05 after shipping. But again, I've got 33 cents into it. So, and it took nothing to list. It takes nothing to ship. It'll go in just this tiny box here. Yep, Ms. Dean. I think that free returns is the way to go. And the reason I say that is because if someone really wants to return something and you have a no return policy, they're going to return it. All they're going to have to do is say that there was a mark that wasn't in the pictures and that you didn't show, And literally any item you can show, there's no possible way that you can 100% accurately describe. If there's a scratch on there and they don't want it, they'll just say that scratch caused them to not want it. And you're going to end up eating that shipping. And when you do free returns, they don't get their initial shipping costs back. So if you do free returns, you do have to pay for them to send it back, but they don't get their initial shipping. If you don't have free returns, you're not only paying for their shipping back to you, you have to return their initial shipping costs. So I'm a big advocate for free returns, but mine and Brandon's store does not have free returns. And every now and then we get one, but we don't have very many on there. So we're going to use this medium size bubble just because I think it'll fill up the box nicely. I won't have to use paper or anything. Again, we're just going to shove all that bubble wrap in there. It protects the car, and then we'll tape it up. And again, that was 33 cents at a garage sale. We're coming down just to our last couple items. One of the items I may not ship on video, but I'll show you what it is just because I think I'm going to have to custom make a box for it. And that takes time. I thought I had another. Yeah, I have more back here I forgot about. Okay, let's do this. This is a brand that's done really well for us lately. And this also came from the Hoarder House. And I'll show you it. This is pottery. It's made in Poland, but it's a QVC brand. And it's Unicat, Unikat. And we got a ton of this from this Hoarder House. And we've been selling, like, some of the small cups may sell for like 15 to 20, but we've sold up to $100 on these. And they're actually moving pretty well for us. I only had one. Let me see where it's at. So I only had one at my house that I got from the storage unit, but we actually sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have six different ones of these going out. And like I said, they range from like $75, $40, $50. But this brand has done really well for us. And this lady had a ton of this stuff. So it already had bubble wrap in the box. So I'm going to reuse that bubble wrap. And they came in these very generic white boxes. And there's no way that I'm going to ship it in this because that's just asking for trouble. So I'm going to fold it up nice. It's already bubble wrapped. Do you have Carhartt shirt? Yes, I have Carhartt shirt. But I'm not selling anything right now, so you're going to have to message me. Anytime that you guys want to buy something, Instagram's probably the best route. I love TikTok, but they don't allow photos and messages. So we got that in there. I'm going to do another layer of bubble wrap on this box, and we're going to put in this. So it's double boxed, give it a little extra protection. I think I can do... And then I get all my bubble wrap from American Bubble Boy. Ships directly to my house. I have no affiliation with them or anything. I don't have like a code or anything, but I really like their bubble wrap, so I promote it when I can. But I'm not getting paid to promote it or anything. So get that taped up. Fits in the box pretty nicely. There's some room for some paper. American Bubble Boy also just started carrying tape. So I'm excited to try it out. I ordered some, but I haven't used it yet. I have been getting all my packing tape from Sam's Club. And it's a little pricey, but I really like the tape. And American Bubble Boy, it's about the same price, but you get more tape. So it ends up being cheaper. Okay. Doesn't move. Good old shake test. Probably should have looked a little, since we sold so many, made sure that I was actually acknowledging which one this one was. Okay, so that pottery is done. Okay, I'll show you the item that I don't think I'm going to ship on camera just because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to build a box for it, and it's going to take some time. This came from a deal where this is Smash Net. It's like an outdoor game where you hit a small ball on like a trampoline net. This came from a house, a rich woman that decided she wanted to be a reseller just for the fun of it. She definitely didn't need to do it. It was kind of like a hobby of hers, but she was just going and doing strictly retail arbitrage. So going to Target and going to Walmart and picking up clearance items. And we ended up buying out her whole inventory from her for probably more money than we wanted to. I think we paid like $7,000 for everything, but we have gotten into the profit, so we're good. But this Smash Net, after shipping and fees, was $96.47. So I don't know exactly what I have into this. It's probably around $1 or $2 if I had to guess. So probably about like $75 profit on that item. Okay, I think we had one more item here. I've had this listed for a long time. I must have paid like 10 cents for this because I can't imagine why I would have even bought this. But this is a vintage Thomaston Mills standard size no iron pillowcase. So it's just a white pillowcase. Like I said, this must have come in a box or something. I would not have like knowingly bought this. But I sold it for $14.94. That's after shipping. So I would imagine I have like a dime, maybe a quarter into it, but pillowcase. But it will be super easy to ship because it's just going into this poly mailer. So into the poly mailer it goes, and I like to put a little extra tape on my poly mailers, and then we're done. Okay, I've got two more items. This first item is another one of those big chunky sweaters, and this one came from the Hoarder House. And welcome if you're just now joining in. I appreciate everybody that's hanging out with me today. This brand is Aaron Crafts. Aaron Crafts. It is 100% merino wool. And this was another QVC item. So, like I said, we had $1,500 total into this whole house. And this is basically free because we sold $1,800 worth from 2 items. So basically everything we got in the house is free. This sweater, which we had many from this brand, different colors, different styles. After shipping and all the fee, or not fees, after shipping and tax, they paid $55.08 for this. And I've tried to package like some of these bigger chunky knit sweaters into a poly bag, and I don't have big enough poly bags. So to save me some headache, I'm just throwing it directly into a box. And I don't have any money into these boxes because they were donated from my old coworkers. Again, this was the Aaron Crafts sweater. Welcome. Thank you for liking. Hey, RPG Tour Guide. Nice to see that name. How you doing, bud? What game have you been playing, RPG Tour Guide? I've been playing Black Ops 6 like crazy, but I've been wanting... I've got Zelda on my Christmas list, and I want to play Astrobot, so I've got Astrobot on my Christmas list as well. But if nobody gets them for me, I'm just going to go buy them. But I get a little trouble if I buy stuff for myself around Christmas time. My wife doesn't like that. Okay, next item here. I think this is the last item of the day. This one sold on my personal store. Where are you? There you are. Okay, I think this is new a tag too. Let me check it out. Maybe not. I don't see a tag. Nice to catch you live, man. Doing pretty well. Lunar SSSC and Zelda Ocarina of Time randomized. Oh, nice. Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time. It is actually one of the games that got me into collecting, and which eventually led into me reselling. So this fleece is brand new. This came from Goodwill. This was originally $70 at Disney World. Man, how's your YouTube channel doing these days, RPG Tour Guide? You get a lot of viewers on there now. You've been doing this for a long time. You've been up there as long as I've been doing it, like 12, 15 years probably, right? Somewhere in between there. So this Disney fleece sold for $44.99, $61.09 after shipping. And I paid $4.99, which is what Goodwill charges for these. I think it's funny. Sometimes I get comments on my videos about, like, Goodwill wouldn't charge that. Like, people have to understand that Goodwill in every region, every state, they're all different. Even within the state, like, I'm in central Indiana, and I've got friends that are up in northern Indiana and southern Indiana as well. And those Goodwills are just completely different. They operate differently than our central Indiana Goodwills. Even within our central Indiana Goodwills, they pretty much have like the same policies and somewhat of the same pricing schedules, but they're not all exactly the same. So whenever you comment on somebody's video and say, like, Goodwill wouldn't do that, that's not true. Like, you have no idea how their Goodwill operates. Like, for instance, my Goodwill charges 99 cents for all hats. And then, like, the bigger hats, sometimes are $1.99, sometimes they're $4.99. They don't normally get much more expensive than that, though. But some of the other Goodwills just in central Indiana, I've seen them charge $4.99 for just ball caps. So, and ours are always 99 cents. Again, I've had this one for a little while, and Bruno and Issa decided to get a little bit of hair on this one. So just wanted to make sure. Doing decent, 1.1 thousand subs and getting all right views. Nothing. Hey, you're still sticking at it. I admire it. For the longest time, I could not get past 1,000 views on YouTube or past 1,000 subs. And then I got these Ray-Ban Metas and started recording my garage sale footage. And that's what really pushed those views out there. But for a long time, I think I've been doing YouTube for like 12, 13 years. For the longest time, I just had no traction. But I made a lot of good friends from doing YouTube, friends that I still talk to this day from 12 years ago. So it was definitely worth it. And I had fun doing it, which I'm sure you have a ton of fun. I mean, you're getting to play games that you love anyway. But it's cool to see you still doing it. I'm glad that you stuck around with me for this long. If you guys like video game playthroughs, walkthroughs, RPG Tour Guide, give him a follow on YouTube. He does what his name says. It's all about RPGs. He's a great dude. He's been doing it a long time. And he used to be the best commenter on YouTube. He used to timestamp all of his comments. I loved getting comments from him. What did I? Oh, this was a Disney fleece. But give him a follow. That'd be much appreciated if you guys would go give him a follow. Great guy. No problem, RPG. I think that's pretty much everything that I have for today. So unless let me check. I know my audio apparently went out on Facebook, but let me pull that up. No comments or anything. God, I really want to get that fixed. But anyway, that was all I got today. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them down below. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I will show you something kind of cool. I'm going to be trying to research these soon, but these are vintage Nike shoes. I'm pretty sure they're from the 80s. They've got like some foam that's coming out, but I can't find exactly what this is. But they're in pretty good shape from being this old. So that's on the docket sometime this week to try to figure out what age these Nike shoes are from. Pretty neat. Thought I'd show you that. Have you ever tried to sell on Facebook? I have. I used to cross list to Facebook, and for some reason I just stopped doing that. I'll sell like bigger items on Facebook, like blow molds, furniture, bicycles, stuff like that. But I don't really sell that much on Facebook. Not a shoe guy, but that is a cool find. Yeah, I know. I don't like. I'm not a big shoe guy, as in the like collecting them or anything. But when we found this, we got this with t-shirts. I'm pretty sure we paid $1 for this pair of shoes. And we were looking at them. I was like, I'm pretty sure these are like original from the 80s. So if there's any shoe people out there that can help me identify this, there is like a stamp in here. But yeah, I think these are original. I have no idea what their value is, but I mean, the soles aren't coming off or anything. Pretty cool. Post them on your IG. Yeah, I should do that. But that's all I got for you guys today. I'm trying to at least go live once a week. That's my goal. Again, if you're still here and you haven't given me a follow, check me out on TikTok. Look for those reels. Also, give me a follow on Instagram or Facebook. I post pictures and kind of more like Twitter type stuff or X or whatever it's called. Just random thoughts on there that I don't post on TikTok. So appreciate everybody that hung out with me today. Sorry if you're still watching on YouTube and you can't hear me. It kind of sucked, but I'll figure this out one day. Nice to see you again, RPG. Everybody take care, and we'll talk to you next time. If I can get this closed. I always have trouble with this part. Peace.